What is up, good people? Welcome and welcome back to another video. It's your girl Alex at Defined by Alex and you guys. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to build an online store using the Shopify domain, where you're going to be able to fully leave this video understanding how to create everything you need, how to navigate through Shopify's platform, knowing where to go, where you need to go to find your data, how to add products, everything, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and hop into my computer. But before I do that, let me go ahead and encourage you to stay to the end of this video so that way you guys can see me answer questions in real time that you've been leaving in my comments. So for those of you who are new here, just really quickly, I'm doing what's called audience highlights, where I spend some time answering questions that you good people have left me in my comments. So feel free to stay to the end of this video so that way you won't miss any good information that I'm going to share. But without further ado, let me go ahead and hop into Shopify and show you how to build your online store. Let's go. All right, good people. So let me go ahead and just break down pretty much how to navigate and how to build your online store. So once you pretty much go through those preliminary steps with Shopify, like adding all of your information, like your personal information, your store's information, where your business is located, all of that good stuff, then it will bring you to what I have in front of me. So for the record, this is a fake store I just created. It's nothing serious. It's just for the purposes of this tutorial. So I just want to go through and let you guys see what that, what it looks like. So it's going to pretty much walk you through things that you have to do. Shopify is really good with putting things right in front of your face. So that way you know what you need to pay attention to and, all that good stuff. So for example, when it comes to like your state tax and sales tax and setting all that up, you could just merely hit view state and it just takes care of that and you're good to go. This will go away once you complete that step. But then moving forward, if I just want to go down here and see all of the steps that they are suggesting, I should say, to complete, this gives you a really good walkthrough of how to, knowing what to do and how to do it and stuff like that. I'm not going to focus mainly on this main section because I want to take you guys to where you can actually add a product and build your store to give you more of that confidence. So moving away from that, I'm going to navigate to my left hand side here. You guys see how it's all of the things that you need to know when it comes to your own store. So let's just go ahead and start with the home page. This is the home page. So this is what we're looking at as we speak. When it comes to orders, every time you have an order, it will show here, or in the event that you have to create an order just on those one-off, moments that you have to create an order, then it does it here. And so this is where all of your orders will be housed. If you have draft orders, they'll be housed here as well and things like that. Moving on to product, I'm going to show you here in just a moment how to add a product, but this is the section where you house all of your inventory. So this is where it's going to show you all of the active, inactive, and draft products that you've added to your store, archived. I guess I should say more so archived, but nonetheless, this is where it'll be housed when it comes to knowing your inventory and all that stuff. So under the overarching product umbrella, then you have like sub tabs, which is your inventory, your transfers, collections, and gift cards. Collections is going to be important to point out because when it comes to housing same like products, so for an example, when it comes to accessories, you may still sell t-shirts, but if you're someone like me who sells like hats and journals and coffee mugs, this collections piece is going to be important because then you can just say, oh, I want it as a collection, and everything under accessories will be housed in that said collection that you make. Moving on to customers, when people start purchasing from you, this is where they'll be. So this is all of your customers. So this is not just email subscribers. It's all of your customers that are going to be, of course, shopping with you, who have purchased and things like that. When it comes to finances, if you are, wanting to look at the money and the numbers and things like that, this is where that's housed. It'll show you your balance. If you have like a Shopify balance from your monthly subscriptions and your shippings and things like that, your payout, your net sales, again, all of those figures that you need to constantly look at. Make it a habit at this point to really know how your shop is performing when it comes to the numbers. So under finances, you'll find a good chunk of information when it comes to your financial performance of how your store is doing. Okay, so moving on to the analytics tab. So this is where, y'all, When I talk about getting into the data and the data don't lie, this is where it's going to be. So right here, let me just hide all these extra tabs. So right here is where you'll know how your shop is performing when it comes to how many online sessions, how many people and visitors are visiting your store, your return customer rate. So who is buying from you more than once? Okay, so your conversion rate, how many people are not only adding to cart, but how many people are actually reaching checkout to where they're completing the sale. Okay, average order value, total orders you've had. I mean, this is pretty much, it's going to tell all of your business when it comes to knowing how your store is performing, things that you may need to improve on, things that you know is working, and all that good stuff. So because this is a test store, I don't have any, type of figures or metrics that's pulled in. I just want to help you guys know what to look for and how to navigate it first before we get to the building part. So moving on to the marketing, Shopify's like, oh my gosh, Shopify is just the bomb.com when it comes to marketing and having a all-in-one platform where you can sell your products, download app, market, it's a lot, and it can be overwhelming in the beginning, but trust me when I say I have never thought about switching to any other platform since I've used Shopify, which is now over a year, well over a year. I really enjoy just knowing I know where to go to look at how my store is doing. When it comes to discounts over here, so this is where you can create discount codes, whether you want to have customers type in the code when they reach their checkout and leaving your store, or if you want to have something automatic where they click a product and they add it to cart, and the Shopify already just embeds that automatic discount that you've applied and created in this tab here. Moving on to the app. So if you want to start adding like, what's a good app? Like your upsell app. If you want to do print on demand, you will go here, go to customize your store, and it will bring up, it's an app store. Think about how we use our phones, like, our iPhone and our Android, and we have those apps, that app store where we may need to know like how to organize, how to cook, how to plan. Well, think of Shopify as the same thing, but for your business. So when it comes to, like I said before, creating an upsell, when it comes to, wanting to use print on demand and having those apps that integrate with Shopify, you're going to want to make sure that you know what to look for. And going here, you can honestly just browse. Like, it's just so much to already search for. So this is a section where you will find all of those, those one-off apps that can help you keep having your store standing strong, sustaining it, bringing in more revenue, and all that good fun stuff. Okay, so just a quick recap. When it comes to the left-hand side of the menu of Shopify, you're going to have your home tab. Your orders is where all of your orders will be housed. Your products, when it comes to adding a product, which I'll get to here in just a moment. Your customers, so who has bought from you, and just seeing, the pretty much the customer behavior. Your finances, so it's showing like your subscriptions, how much you owe, what's coming in, what's going out, all that good stuff. Your analytics, which is the powerhouse of how your store is going to be ran, knowing again what platforms are performing the best for your store, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, all that. Your marketing, how are you gathering people and their information to your store to shop and things like that. Your discounts, so creating those specialized discount codes for your customers so they can, feel like they're buying more and spending less, all that good stuff. And then finally, the app store, where you can pretty much go and just honestly, honey, shop till you drop, download all the things that you want when it comes to having all the apps that's going to be beneficial for your store. So now let's move on to this bottom half, and then I'll go into the settings before I quickly go over to building an online store and things to note when you're getting started. So when it comes to the sales channel, this is where it's going to be important for you guys to pay attention when it comes to building your store. All right, so before I show you guys how to kind of build the foundation of your store, let me go ahead and add a product so you can see how to do that. So if you're starting from scratch, this is what your screen is going to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and add a product. And so when I do that, it's going to take me to pretty much putting out the product and its description page. So let's just say I'm just going to start again. This is a test. So, I'm going to make up something on the fly here. So let's just say I want to do tie-dye. Let's just say tie-dye tee. And I know I have a tie-dye tee as a picture as an example, but you would make the title. Okay, so from the main section here, you would go ahead and just pretty much write out the title of what your t-shirt is. So if it's a t-shirt that says, this girl is popping, you could just call that this girl is popping tee, whatever. And so this is where you would list the description. So I can just say, there's so much fun in tie-dye. Okay, like I'm just coming up with whatever, y'all. So I'll do that. Now within the description, you can embed so many things. Like you can add pictures, you can add a video. I mean, you can get really, really creative when it comes to the product description. Now I'm gonna add a file, which I already have pulled up here, and I'm just gonna drag and drop, because the cool thing about Shopify is that you can drag and drop when it comes to your products. Okay, so I did that. As you guys can see, why I chose tie-dye is because I had this in my file. So this was just an example. Over here quickly to the right for the product status, it's going to default to be in draft, but then once you're done and you're done with the description, you've added the products and the price, which I move on here to in just a second. You can go ahead and switch this status to active, and it'll show you all of the channels, which is where your product is going to be seen right here as well. So you'll have your online store, which is of course your Shopify store. You'll have Facebook. I chose Google, the Shopify buy button. I just honestly clicked whatever just for the sake of this video, but you don't need all of these channels. It's mainly going to be where you're going to, show up the most. So for sure, your website and Facebook, I will always, always, always recommend that you have selected when it comes to your sales channels and the apps. So now moving down to this actual, product, you can go ahead and set the pricing. So this section here is where you go ahead and set the pricing for this tee. So let's just say I want it to be $15.95. That's the price that customers are going to see. You always want to make sure that there is tax for this product. You don't want to ever run into situations where your products aren't being taxed, okay? So make sure that this box is always checked. When it comes to compared price, this is just to show a sale or a discount. So let's just say I want to have this t-shirt now for $7.50. Customers are going to see on the front end that my shirt is on sale for $7.50, but the original price is $15.95. Okay. Now, if I wanted to do a cost per item, I can. It'll pretty much just give me like my profit margins, things like that. Me personally, I don't do this, but if you want to, hey, go for it. When it comes to inventory, if you have your stock keeping unit number, you don't need it. Okay, it's not required. This is just for people who are just very anal about their numbers and everything. You don't have to do that. I will also recommend that you always have Shopify track the quantity. So if they know something is sold out, your customer is notified as well, and they can't purchase that. Okay. So this is just a fake address, but it'll show you your address and how many are available. So you can go ahead and mark that number in here if you want. So let's just say I have 10 of these available. I can keep it moving. If it's a physical product, which if you're selling t-shirts, most likely they always will be physical products. So you can go ahead and make sure that this is selected. Put in your weight here too. So I would say if you know, of course, you're fulfilling out of your home, go ahead and have the weight that's calculated for this product. And as you can see here, it gives you the disclosure to use the calculated shipping rates at checkout and, with label prices during fulfillment. So I would say always make sure that your product is in some type of packaging bag. So that way, like what it really weighs and not just what it weighs with a t-shirt alone. Like just have the most accurate number that you can. Okay. Okay. So just to continue with the actual product description and when you add one. So just moving down after the weight, if you want to go ahead and put in like customs information, this section is only specific to international shipping. If you know you're going to be based out of the US and only sell to the US, you don't have to worry about this section. So going down to the options. So this is where you're going to indicate the sizes and the colors of your t-shirts. So for an example, you select the check mark box, and so it says your option name. Shopify does a wonderful job of kind of just giving you what you already need. So I'm going to go ahead and select size. And I know for my values, I'm just going to go ahead and indicate if it's a small. I'm hitting enter to go to the next line. Go to medium, hit enter, go to large, hit enter, go to extra large, hit enter, and then go to 2XL. And then you're done with that. Now to add another option, I'm going to do colors. So I know, let's just say you want to do black. You're going to sell it in, I say black tie-dye since this is a tie-dye shirt, and I can do blue tie-dye. You know what? I don't have a black tie-dye example, so we're just going to keep it at blue tie-dye, but you guys get my gist. So this is how you add what's called the variants. So as a consumer yourself, think about when you're shopping for something and you want to make sure that it's the right size and the color that you want. Well, on the back end, on a business owner perspective, this is what it looks like when you're making those variants that customers have when it comes to deciding what size and what color they want for their t-shirt. So now moving down here is where those variants are going to pop up. So when it comes to the sizes, you see they're going to be right here. And then the actual color, which is just for this case, one color. You add as many as you offer. Okay. So this is just an example, but you add as many as you offer. And then when it comes to the quantity, I'm just going to play around and just in the in the quantity box, type 2 for all of the options. And then I'm just going to scroll up here and just check everything. But in a quick glimpse, you guys, this is how you would physically add a product to Shopify. Now, before I hit save, over here where it says product organization, just to make sure that you have like strong SEO and that customers can navigate through your actual online store, you can like identify what type of product it is. So if it's a custom product, like for me, it's going to be a t-shirt. So I can add that type of custom product organization and things like that. For the vendor, you can put your actual store. So it'd be the T Empire, just for the sake of this example. So the T Empire is the vendor. And then for collections, if you wanted to appear on whatever type of subcategory page, you would add it here. For this example, I'll do homepage because I haven't made a collection yet. So that'll come later. But again, this is just the overall view, pretty much high level overall view of how you will add a product. And then if you want to create tags, again, this is just to let customers find the specific product that they're searching for. So if I know this is a tie-dye shirt, I'm going to add a tie-dye tag and call it a day. Okay. So just in a quick glance, this is how you will add a product to your store every time you have products that you want to add to your Shopify store. Now I'm going to click save and let that save in the system. Cool. So my product is here. You see it says added tie-dye tee. And now I'm going to keep it moving with going back to my online store right here. And now we're going to get started with, mapping out how we want our online store to look. So when starting out building an online store, this is going to be where you have to just take your time. You're building something from scratch. So just to kind of jump down to the most important parts here, you want to focus on the theme. So if you're someone who's starting out and you have a smaller budget, you want to explore the free themes. And so this gives you all of the free theme options when it comes to your Shopify store and things like that. Or if you want to visit the theme store, this gives you a lot of the both paid and free themes that Shopify offers when it comes to building a website. All right, friends, so I went ahead and jumped into the theme that was defaulted, which is the Dawn theme. And I just want to show you guys, give you just a good navigation source of how to navigate when you're actually on the web building site, right? So this is what everyone sees when they're making their Shopify store. They're going to have their header, which you guys can customize everything that you see for the most part when it comes to fonts and colors and layout. This is where you can have a really good time with making sure your store looks the way that you want it to look. Okay. So just for a quick glance, you guys see I have the product that I added already, but when it comes to what you want your customers to see when they first log on, this is going to be that image banner. So you can add any image that you want. As far as knowing what ties to what piece over in the main section from the left-hand menu, if you just click on the tabs here, it gives you a good idea of what dictates what. So for an example, I have my image banner, which is going to be the main big piece here. And when I go to image banner, you can see how it has the text. You can see how it has more fine-tuned text over here. You can see I can add buttons and all that good stuff. If I wanted to remove a block, let me kind of like move my floating head here. If I wanted to move a block, I could just remove this. And then when it comes to more like text that you want to like help your customers really resonate and identify with, you can do that. When it comes to the feature collection, if you have a feature collection, this is where you would pretty much identify your feature collection. So you guys saw how I added the tie-dye t-shirt on the other end of Shopify. Well, now when it comes to the online store building site, this is where you'll see and customers will see what the product looks like, okay? You don't have to have everything that these themes already come with. The beautiful part about this all is that you can take away anything and add whatever that you want. So like for an example, if you don't have a video, you don't need it, remove this section and just call it a day, okay? Same thing with this multi-column section. If I don't want it, I'm going to remove it. And that just pretty much condenses all the extra stuff that I know I don't need. And it puts on my store what I know I need, what I know I want, and things like that. So this is what it looks like just on an overall glance of building an online store. But what I wanted to really point out is how your product will look once you add it. So as you guys saw, I added the product and now I went into my theme of my store, just clicking on all the buttons, honestly, just testing it out. And this is what I will get. Okay. So just as a quick glance and an overview, this is how it looks when it comes to building a Shopify store. It really takes a lot of your might and your creativity of what you want your store to look like. But overall, this is how you would build it. Shopify already gives you a great foundation. All you have to do is customize it. So you just plug into your image, your products, save it, and that's it. Okay. All right, friends. So just kind of wrapping up again what we're seeing through Shopify, how to navigate it, things to look out for when it comes to building your online store. That pretty much wraps it up. So again, this was just like an overview of Shopify. I strongly encourage that if you're going to dive into it, you go ahead and get your feet wet and just go all in, because it can be really fun when you're building it. Before I go and change scenes, I'm going to show you as far as the settings. So this part here in your Shopify store is going to give you like a lot of information, like your important information. It gets you your plan information, your user and permissions, your payments, your checkout. So when you go to settings, this is how you are going to identify and dictate what happens when it comes to your taxes, when it comes to your shipping and delivery, when it comes to your checkout page. I mean, it's just so many things in Shopify that you can do, that you can control. So I strongly recommend that you always pay attention to your settings information and your tab, so that way you know how your store is going to operate when it comes to payout, when it comes to billing, when it comes to having everything on file that is correct and accurate. So that way, you know, you won't miss out on any important information that you need to when it comes to your store. So that pretty much wraps up showing you guys everything about Shopify, everything that I know, that I've learned to know. There's so much more to learn, of course. I'll for sure be making more videos in the future. But again, as a quick overview, I hope this helps as far as knowing again how to navigate, what to do when it comes to building an online store, and just continuing building your small business for yourself. All right, good people. So that concludes the actual building of your online store using Shopify to sell your t-shirts. So now I'm going to jump into the audience highlights section of today's video and answer some questions that you guys have left me. Okay, so the first comment I'm going to respond to is from ZIDCL. Hey friend, hey. And so basically you want to know how to get started, whether you need to use a DBA or an LLC. You need to know how to begin promoting. It looks like you want to know where to find the most affordable t-shirts, good quality and quantity. So this is a really loaded question that I think is really pretty common, to be honest. So let me go ahead and start with the first part of this question. In any business that you're forming, in any idea that you want to take from a simple idea to have it be a paid out, type of business and things like that, you need to make sure that all of your T's are crossed and all of your I's are dotted. So yes, I would strongly encourage you go ahead and file an LLC, file a legalized entity so that your business is registered with your state, for when it comes to taxes and filings and things like that. I would say if you have the intention to become a small business where you are, paying tax on something, then you need to have an LLC. When it comes to promoting, just a more roundabout answer, honestly, I would say that you need to know that you have to promote your business if you, aspire to make money off of it. So that being said, when it comes to social media, an extension of that is going to be like Facebook ads and running like TikTok ads. All the ads you can think of that you feel is going to be good for your business. I would strongly encourage that you start looking into, that type of experience when it comes to growing your business. I would also say when it comes to promoting, you just have to have it in mind on how you're going to reach your audience. So this is where your creativity and your strategic mindset have to go hand in hand, because you need to make sure that you're being strategic when it comes to promoting and that, you're having fun, you're creative, it's doing what it needs to do. So yes to an LLC. I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you file one. And then when it comes to promoting, I would just merely say, think about how big you want to be as a business, right? And so let that question carry you into knowing how you got to execute and promote your products. As far as the quality of your t-shirts and where to get them and things like that, I've only shopped at Jiffy Shirts, so I'm gonna only speak on what I know, and I'll leave the link for you in the description box below. But when it comes to blank wholesaling t-shirts, you can go to Jiffy Shirts. You can also go to Alpha Border. I think I'm saying that right, but you can use both of those platforms and you can find all of the good blank shirts that you want. As far as good quality, I found Gildan soft style t-shirts to be really great. Some people use Next Level, some people use Bella Canvas. These are questions I don't think I can really pinpoint for you. I will just help you in the direction and you can decide for yourself. So my friend, I hope that answers your questions as far as your LLC, promoting, and where to get your t-shirts. I will always say test out a few different brands of t-shirts to really know if you like them or not. So let me move on to the next one. Okay, so for the next comment, it's from A Star Fitness. Hey friend, hey. And so you really want to know what are the best ways to start pushing out the business. So it looks like you're asking me, did I start a Shopify website or did I start like on Etsy and Instagram? So I took a couple of left turns when it came to starting. So just initially, fresh off the gate, I actually did have a store on Etsy, still the same name. So everything was the same. Black Mantras is my business. So I still had my name together. I had filed my LLC, my EIN, all of that stuff. So I was on Etsy, and then I went over to Shopify because I personally, as someone who, let me be honest you guys, I am a little bit of a control freak. So I like to control, you know, how people are seeing my products in that type of nature. So I went ahead and moved off of Etsy to Shopify because I wanted that ownership. Like I wanted that complete control of knowing that I have this whole website that I have sat down and, you know, designed and made sure that it's polished, made sure that my customers can navigate it, you know, easily. That's what I wanted. I always say that it's all about what you want and how you want your products to be delivered in that way when it comes to, you know, selling on the platform. I am not saying don't go to Etsy, and I'm not saying don't go to Shopify. I'm just merely saying pay attention to what your needs and what you want in your business. If you don't care about, you know, having a shared space like you will on Etsy, where your customer just types in a specific type of t-shirt, and not only does your product pop up, but so many other sellers' products pop up, then if you don't care about that, then hey, do you, friend. On the flip side, if you are someone like me and you want to have the ownership of a website where you have the domain and you own the domain, okay? So can nobody take www.bomb.com.tees.com from you because you've paid for that and you own that domain. You want to own the way your website looks. You want to add products and be able to take them away whenever you please. And so I just merely say it's really all up to your needs and your wants when it comes to your platform. I will be biased and just tell you that my personal suggestion would be to have your own store, essentially, because you want to always have a place where your customers know where they can go. You don't want to make it seem like that they have to search for you if they really want to shop with you, if that makes sense. So my friend, I hope that answered your question. But yeah, other than that, that wraps up today's video on how to build an online store specifically to sell your t-shirts using Shopify. Now, if you guys are needing some more help and guidance outside of the videos, then feel free to purchase my ebook, and I'll leave that in the description box below for you. So that way you have a very well straightforward guide on how to get started the right way and avoid all that fluffy stuff when it comes to starting your t-shirt business. But that is it for today's video, my friends. Thank you guys so much for watching. Just to let you guys know, I am shooting to gain 50,000 subscribers by June of 2022, and I am totally confident that I'm going to get there with the help of you guys. It really means a lot to me that you guys are enjoying my videos and you enjoy and trust the knowledge that I share. So thank y'all so much. Shout out to you. But as always, friends, don't forget to drink your water, mind your business, and always choose yourself first, and I'll be back in my next video. Bye, y'all.